1 year as the very best. 1 year as champion. Now left with nothing but his name in the history books. And for some men, that's enough. But he's no man. He's an animal, willing to take back what he feels is his, what he feels belongs to him. Relentless, ruthless, and barbaric. How can you stop a predator? How can you stop the unstoppable? And how can you stop Rhino? Hello and welcome back to Curb Stomp City, and today we are bringing you the first episode of Season 2 of ECW Lives. And I'm just going to do a quick rundown of what happened in Season 1 if you weren't there to see it. But I would recommend watching the Christmas special, which was the last episode of Season 1. I'd say it was probably the best TEW video I've done so far. And yeah, I look to keep up that standard in Season 2. Basically, from the start of Season 1, Rhino was the ECW champion, and he went up until the last pay-per-view of the year, eventually losing to Minoru Tanaka, who debuted at Global Glory 2001, which is our equivalent of WrestleMania. And he was in a New Japan Pro Wrestling versus CMLL match, and he was a representative of New Japan Pro Wrestling against Lismark Jr. He then went on to officially join the company as an ECW wrestler, and he was in the junior heavyweight division for a while, basically just the standout of the entire roster. His in-ring performances were way above everyone else's, especially towards the end of the year. And eventually the trigger was pulled and Minoru Tanaka defeated Rhino in a fatal 4-way, which also included Sting, who had only just debuted before the pay-per-view, defeating Vampiro in a qualifier for the fatal 4-way. Minoru Tanaka defeated Keiji Muto, who is a legend in Japan, so that was a good way of putting Tanaka over and showing that he's ready for the main event. And Samoa Joe was also in there after giving up his television championship and defeating CM Punk in the qualifiers. And speaking of CM Punk, he went on to challenge the Sandman for the vacated television championship. And that's basically a simple straight edge versus, well, you could say alcoholic feud. And yeah, CM Punk won the title, and he now goes into the future as the television champion. And Low Key is also the new junior heavyweight champion, and definitely a good youngster who has a lot of promise, and he holds the belt that the now ECW World Heavyweight Champion once held. During the season, CM Punk and Rhino had a friendship which eventually broke up after CM Punk basically said to Rhino that he doesn't want him to fight on his behalf anymore or to help him win. He wants to do it alone. The following pay-per-view, Rhino won. CM Punk got battered by Samoa Joe and was out for a while. He then returned to challenge Rhino, and Rhino eventually won the feud, but CM Punk is on the way back up. He has regained the television title, and yeah, he's definitely someone we are going to be looking to push to the main event level, particularly popularity wise. And I've got something planned, so before we get going, if you're excited to see the series back, make sure you hit the like button, it helps me out a lot. It's also important to quickly note that Keiji Muto defeated Rhino for the GPWC World Heavyweight title at Osaka Live, which is the house show that we run monthly in Japan. So yeah, we go into a video showing the two losses, and then at the end, what's next for Rhino. So he's gone from being a triple champion to being championshipless, if that's a word. But yeah, 74 B-. Good start, solid video. Then Heyman is standing in the ring and he says, "Tonight we will celebrate a massive year of ECW. We went from the brink of extinction and became the hotbed for young wrestling talent from all over the world. And over the course of the hour, we will be naming the winners of the ECW Awards. And first we start with the award that represents the fans. Without you, ECW would not be here today. So to begin, we have the ECW Fans Choice Award, as voted by you, the fans. And the winner with the most votes, Rhino. And he says, well, I didn't expect this. And Rhino isn't even here yet. And he should be with us before the end of the show. But with that out of the way, we will go into our first matchup of the evening. So yeah, Heyman's a bit surprised that Rhino was the choice of the fans, and this threw a bit of a curveball in terms of my booking. I wasn't expecting Rhino to win this, but I've come up with a little storyline how we can work this in the game. But yeah, 72 B- for that promo. Good promo from Heyman. And Samoa Joe then goes on to defeat Brian Kendrick in an extremely short match by stoppage when Brian Kendrick could not continue. So Samoa Joe is back to the days of him just taking out his opponents and making it so they just cannot continue. Not even submitting them, not even pinning them. The referee has to stop the match. Samoa Joe had an in-ring performance of 79. Brian Kendrick had an in-ring performance of 26. And a 53 C-. So a really good performance from Joe there. And it says he's shone in this match. I think that's the first time we've seen that as well. And Brian Kendrick is improving in technicals. And then a video airs hyping the upcoming 2-hour special show. A night of hardcore wrestling will be live from the Hammerstein Ballroom. And every match will have a special stipulation. And so that's going to be happening in a few weeks' time. And it's going to be free on the Bravo network. But it's going to be a 2-hour special. So yeah, having it on Bravo basically allows us to do whatever we want in terms of match stipulations. So yeah, that's going to be good. And this got a 66 C+. And I don't think episode 1 of season 2 is going to be episode 1 of season 1 in terms of views. But I reckon we can do it in likes. So if we get, as it stands, 107 likes on this video, I'm going to include this show in the next episode. And likes on the first episode of a series are really important to help get people involved and more recommendations to different people that might not see it otherwise. So if you could do that, that'll help me out. And then I'll bring you this show next Saturday. And then another video airs, and Sting will be back next week with a challenge for Vampiro. And this got an 8B. This got an 80B. And then in a bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, the Chain Gang defeated the Phenomenals in 12 minutes 17 when John Cena defeated AJ Styles by pinfall using underhanded tactics. And in terms of in-ring work, AJ Styles was head and shoulders above everyone else. He was off his game though apparently, but he's still the standout of the match. Fergal Devitt is improving leaps and bounds. He's now getting 59. AJ Styles with a 71. Jay Briscoe with a 43. And John Cena with a 45. And yeah, 59C overall. So that's a really good match. And then Vampiro and Angel Williams appear in the ring after a blackout. And Vampiro says, "At Massacre on 34th Street, I made a statement to the man they call Sting. You wanted me to remember you, Sting. Don't worry, I didn't forget. And last week I reminded you exactly who I am." And if you don't remember, Vampiro cost Sting. If you don't remember, Vampiro interfered in the Fatal 4-Way to take out Sting and his chance of being the champion. And then Angel says, "You picked a fight with the wrong people. Last time you got lucky. You went on to take my man's spot in the World Heavyweight title match. Now we will take your big debut away from you. Welcome to ECW, Sting. Make the most of it. It won't last long." The lights go out, and then when they come back on, Angel and Vampiro are gone. The angle got the crowd hotter. Angel looked lost out there. The performance of Vampiro is good, so he's holding the promo together. 64C. Overall, so good stuff. And then CM Punk is in the ring ready to cut a promo. He says, I hear time and time again about the revival of the hardcore generation, and today I declare myself the saviour of the new injection. As your ECW Television Champion, I declare war on your extreme heroes. As your Television Champion, I will defend my championship week in, week out, to end any doubt who's the best in ECW. You want hardcore? You got it. I issue an open challenge to anyone in the back. And I am here to cleanse what I worked so hard to destroy in the first place. I am CM Punk, I am straight edge, and I am better than you. So yeah, C plus 68. And CM Punk issuing an open challenge to any hardcore wrestler from ECW's past. And Just Incredible accepts the challenge, and CM Punk makes defense number 1 of his ECW World Television title after he pins him. And this got a 68C+, and this is our main event match, but we've got a segment coming after this. And CM Punk had an in-ring performance of 69, Just Incredible got a 61, and the Punk versus Hardcore storyline has started with this segment. So yeah, this is my idea, just to get him over in the main event. And basically just put him in some matches in open challenges week in, week out. And hopefully his popularity goes up. And then we go into a segment with Paul Heyman in the ring, ready to announce the final award of the night. We've got Wrestler of the Year. And he says we are ready to announce the Wrestler of the Year. It's Minoru Tanaka. And then Tanaka's music hits, and ready to make his first Revolt appearance since his huge title win. And he enters with a golden robe and opens the front to reveal the ECW World Heavyweight Championship belt around his waist. And this got a 83B+, so good stuff there. And then Rhino suddenly appears from the crowd wearing street clothes. He stands behind Tanaka, signalling for him to turn around. And he turns straight into a huge gore. Then Rhino stands up, holding his shoulder after the impact with the title belt. So as he's gone in for the gore, he's hit his shoulder on the belt, which would have hurt Tanaka as well. And he rips the robe off Tanaka and begins to choke him until he passes out. And then Rhino gets up and takes the belt and stares into the hard cam. And he points at the belt and mouths, "This is my year." And he throws the belt to the floor and exits through the crowd. So we've got fans' choice taking on Wrestler of the Year in the company's opinion. So we've got an interesting storyline brewing now. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. But somehow we've got a 98A star. And this was based on Rhino's menace and Minoru Tanaka's selling. And I didn't think we'd get an A star. We've never got a segment like that before. I don't think it's going to make too much difference in terms of the overall rating. But we've got a B79, which is really good. So I guess it did help. And we've had quite a lot of segments in this show, so maybe that's the way forward. We'll see. But yeah, it's good to see CM Punk in the main event match. And yeah, I think that's a solid show. We've set the tone for the first couple of months of the year. And we've got an interesting main event storyline between Rhino and Minoru Tanaka. Rhino wants revenge, and this show increases our popularity in 20 regions. And we got a TV rating of 3.75, which I can't remember how that compares to our other ones. I'll have to find out. Alright, so here we've got the TV ratings, and the last two Revolts have bumped up from the mid 2s to the mid 3s. We've done quite well. And there's a steady improvement going on. And that is our best show we've had. But yeah, what a really good start. And I think, I don't know what's happened there. I'm guessing that last promo between Rhino and Tanaka has really helped out there. But I'm just going to check his menace and Tanaka's selling. So Rhino's got 79 menace, and Tanaka has 79 selling, and they've somehow got a 98. I'm not really sure how, but yeah, I'm not going to complain. Yeah, I'm really happy with that show. But for now, I'm going to leave this episode here. We're going to usually have 2 shows per episode, but just because I had to explain a little bit at the start, and that show was quite long in terms of the amount of segments that we usually have. But hopefully you've enjoyed it, and if you have, hit the like button and subscribe for more TEW 2016 and general wrestling content. And until next time, peace.